their comments. All right, you see the timers before you, and first on page 1 is Joe Hahn. There you go.
Okay, good evening, Mayor and the City Council.
Name and zip code, please.
It's Joe Ho, 983036. So I can start my comments. I would suggest today we needed to remove Michael Miller and James Pope from their current position. Here's why. So first, Mike and James conduct and behavior and intention regarding Vivian's appointment are very vicious. I can't understand the reason they have the issue with Vivian, especially they didn't know her when she ran for the position. But what clear to me, they trying to set her up. They didn't mention any problem if she attended for the protest. But later on, they blame her for the district spend a lot of money on security. That sounds like as if she being here, Vivian being here, was the sole reason for the protest happening. That sounds like as if Vivian wasn't there were not protests. So that is ridiculous. Initially, I thought they might have an issue with Vivian just because Vivian probably have a different opinion, or because she wasn't one of them. But later last week, I found out that the district board spent millions of taxpayer dollars annually, including cover travel expense, conference attendance for Jant. Now it's become clear to me why they hate Vivian so much, because they don't want any outsider in the board who might look into their financial situation, especially their expenses are not under any form of oversight. Since we request the public records on the district board financial situation, they haven't given us piece of information. And here is a heads up to the Lynnwood citizen. Jane Pops making $180,000 from our tax money, who is more than a lot of us earned, yet she doesn't think that's enough and still want to give herself a raise. Second, Michael Miller and Jane Pop challenge authority and the legitimacy of the city council. Since Vivian was appointed by the city council, district website did not update to include her in the member list till very recently. Michael and James trying to use this passive tactics to evade the appointment of the Vivian that made by the city council. And I think the whole thing is a disaster. It shouldn't come down like this. I mean, anyone with a little bit of leadership training, they should know you need to get well with your team. And instead, they are just stirring the pot. And based on this situation, it's clear to me Michael and James cannot lead the district the way the public wants. Thank you so much.
No clapping, no jeering, no booing. Thank you. Next, Eddie Miller.
Hi, this is Eddie.
Name and zip code, please.
This is Eddie, and zip code is 9046. And good evening, everyone. Today, I stand before you, proud Americans who believe in the value of honesty, integrity, and justice. I just believe that the respectful city council members in this room share those common values with us. However, I'm here to address a serious issue that come to my attention. Mike Miller, the board chair of Lynnwood PFD, has made numerous false allegations against Ms. Dong by distorting the facts. This is not only immoral, but also goes against the very principles of justice and fairness that we hold dear. Ms. Miller stated that the rally on June 18th, 2023 caused a huge business loss and caused huge traffic congestions of USPS office along 169 and 36th Street. However, the office is closed on Sundays, and June 18th is a Sunday. Therefore, it's unclear to me how the business was impacted. Obviously, this is a false allegation that intentionally distorted the fact. In the accusation drafted and signed by Ms. Miller, is accused that Mr. Dong is deeply involved in the rally with considerable evidence. However, it is unclear what evidence has been presented to support his claim, a picture or email, or just a purely lip service. The only fact we know is that Lynnwood Times reporter reached out to the organizer of the rally, and they don't even know who she is. As a taxpayer in Lynnwood for so many years, I cannot trust that Lynnwood PFD would spend my money in a decent way with a board chair like Ms. Miller, who keeps lying with no integrity and no honor of justice. His behavior not only damages the trust of Lynnwood residents on PFD, but also leads us to further question the leadership of Lynnwood City Council. In conclusion, I urge everyone here to take this matter seriously and hold Ms. Miller accountable for his actions. Thank you.
Next, I show someone crossed out somebody's name. April Marrow. His name was crossed out here, and it was replaced by Mario Lotmore.
Hi, Mario Lotmore, 98275. Hello, Lynnwood City Council and public. After multiple attempts in accordance with the Public Facilities District Bylaws, Article 7, Section 5, to inspect the books and records, its executive director and board refused to comply with my requests. I have attempted 5 times to inspect its financial records in accordance to Article 11. In my opinion, the board and its executive director are willfully obstructing this effort. Besides the PFD board and executive director appearing to violate its own bylaws, it is in violation of RCW 40.16.010 and RCW 40.16.020 that carry felony penalties. Complaints have been filed to multiple state agencies and the Snohomish County Prosecutor's Office to investigate this matter and negligence of duty by the PFD's board and its executive director. According to public records provided to the Lynnwood Times by the city of Lynnwood, I'm still recovering. The PFD receives over $1 million in taxpayer funds annually. As this agency receives taxpayer money, the public has a right to know how the funds are being spent, if the PFD has adequate oversight of how that money is spent, and if it's following its own policy, as it has not been following. Well, we've seen some past instances where it's not been following its own policies and bylaws. The truth may take a few months or even a year to come out. I'm committed to that. It always comes out. We will never give up, and we will not roll over. The Lynnwood Times is the watchdog for the people and is committed to exposing government cover-ups and any wrongdoing. We just won an award, first place, for government, our investigative reports for government, for a government story we wrote. The bottom line is this. This whole thing's a mess. That's how I'm going to leave it like that. This is a mess. This is a difficult decision. I know all of you. I know some of you here. This whole thing's a mess. It's just dividing the community. I wish you didn't have to go through all this. I don't envy being in your shoes right now. I'm speaking just as a person. I have been personally torn by this. I have. I trusted government to a certain extent. And what I'm witnessing, not by you guys, I don't want the public to think you guys, but what I'm witnessing is it really makes you lose hope in people just respecting others. All right, thank you.
Next, Albert Chu.
Albert Chu, 98036. Esteemed members of the City Council, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. I'm here in support of Lynnwood PFD board member Vivian Dong, and more importantly, to call out board chair Mike Miller and executive director Janet Pope for the hostile, demeaning, and discriminatory workplace that they have created. Now, our republic was founded upon the notion of due process at law. Mr. Miller and Ms. Pope have spearheaded an attempt to oust Ms. Dong without following normal processes and without regard to due process. Passions are clearly inflamed. We've become so divided as a nation that we've forgotten common decency towards each other and how to have civil discourse. The strength of our nation comes from diversity, true diversity, which includes the diversity of hearing diverse perspectives, things that we would rather not hear. Removing Ms. Dong does nothing to strengthen our nation, our republic. Rather, having There it goes. So I suggest that we embrace diversity, true diversity. As my old policy professors at Berkeley used to tell me, if you've made a decision and nobody is entirely happy, it's not good for your career, but it's probably the right decision. And it's what's good for the nation, good for the city of Lynnwood. Thank you.
Thank you. Yang Zhu.
Hello, my name is Yang, zip code 98037. So good evening, council members and mayor. It came to my attention that a letter was included in the meeting agenda packet for today. It was sent from PFD and signed by 4 board members, including the chair, Mike Miller. Unfortunately, I had to wait 10 minutes of my life to read this letter and found the letter very self-conflicted and to just review Vivian from the allegations that PFD made against her. Let me give you just a few examples because my time is short. The letter extensively described the protest on June 17th and stated both sides were legal. Yet it then mentioned people attending were wearing body armor, carrying weapons, and placing backpacks. Who are those people? If the riot police acted accordingly to those people, then who is the threat to the public safety? We all know that they are Antifas, and if the riot police were shielding the Antifas from damage to the property, why the board is blaming Vivian? Then the board accused that Vivian, quote, interacted frequently with several individuals, including groups on national watch lists as extremist organizations, and herself engaged in what could be viewed as extremist language about the topic and its relevance to the LGBTQ plus community. So what groups and what extremist language did Vivian use? Can you give me an example? And what topics are you referring to? So can I ask the PFD board members a question? What is a woman? Then the letter continued to state that Vivian violated the code of ethics without nothing but allegations. Speaking of facts, I have these pictures in my hand along with the video evidence if you want to watch. Look at what they did to Vivian. You just look at the director, Janet, and how she treated Vivian. Look at the body language. You might think that Janet is the boss, not the other way around. And Mike Miller, as a failed leader, allowed Janet's behavior like that. The PFD is a toxic environment. And are you going to reappoint Mike Miller to continue this kind of behavior within PFD? You know why they want to get rid of Vivian? The real reason is that she came from one of the top companies in the world and started asking real questions, especially how it used $1 million taxpayer money and achieved so little. So Mike Miller and Janet are the main reason, and the PFD is overdue for audit. Thank you.
Next, Tong Tang.
Good evening. My name is Ji Lu Tang. My zip code is 98037. Today, I stand here as a man to address mothers, wives, daughters, and in the voice to supporting Vivian. Let's admit the fact that the reason that we are here is not about It's not only about Vivian. It's about the whole community, the whole country. This whole movement about the LGBT and many other things. So let's take a very recent example. There is a conference called Grace Hope Conference, a remarkable event that is dedicated to women. However, this year, hundreds of men registered there and take their spot. So in the name of protecting women's rights, but actually it harms women's rights. There's another situation happens to in Virginia. Like a teenage girl was assaulted by in high school by a trans-identified student. And the school district tried to cover this up. And when the father confronted with this school district, the father actually gets arrested. And eventually, this attacker then transferred to another school. And to make things worse, the attacker sexually assaulted another girl. So those are two independent events than to Vivian's. But let's face it. The reason that Vivian was on the spotlight today, because she had the integrity to actually support the Olympia spa event. She did what she believes right to protect women's rights. And then the whole PFD used this as an excuse to get rid of Vivian. Why is that? Why? Vivian represents the true diversity, represents the true Asian independent woman, and why we want to get rid of her. And the answer is this one. Check PFD's finance. So far, if anyone requests their finance to be exposed, things will be exposed. So that's what I want to achieve. So please, City Council, please look into this matter and treat it more seriously.
Can you speak into your microphone?
Please, City Council, look into this matter. Check PFD's finance. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Rachel Zhen.
Hi, my name is Rachel Zhang, and my address postal code is 98036. It's ironic and wrong when the director, Janet Pope, didn't follow the code of ethics in board of director role description, confidentiality, and conflict interest agreement herself. So let's all take a look at the code of ethics. They're on a paper together and see how many of them are not followed by Jenny and Mike. So the code of ethics are the LPFD is committed to conducting its business in a fair, open, efficient, and accountable manner. Public officials and employees shall conduct their public and private actions and financial dealing in a manner that shall present not apparent or actual conflict of interest between the public trust and their private interest. Each official and employee is assumed and expected to act in accordance with all laws that may apply to his or her position, as well as striving to avoid even the appearance of impropriety or conflict of interest in the conduct of their business. So, to save the time, I'm just going to go straight to the 11th code of the ethics. So, number 1. Be respectful of the views of other board members and district employees, even if such views are contrary to the board member's personal opinion. Number 2, facilitate healthy communication at board meetings through engagement and active listening. Obviously, they didn't follow that by muting Vivian multiple times during the meeting, right? Number 3, be prepared to express views with convictions and curiosity, but not judgment. Number 4, understand the value of the trust of a healthy team. Number 5, encourage transparency, honest debate, and respectful feedback. Number 6, avoid defensive posturing. Number 7, not divulge confidential information regarding the LPFD affairs in accordance with the confidentiality agreement. Number 8, not purport represent the views of the board unless authorized to do so by the board. Number 9, not intentionally misrepresent, demean, or belittle positions taken by other board members or district employees. And what I want to say, I don't have enough time, is that if there's no consequence for them, then there's no fairness. It doesn't matter who replaces the spot. Any business work have rules and guidance to obey. And if they can just be bullied without repercussions, it's their impotent leadership. And whatever says on paper is fake guidance, fake regulation. And whoever support bullies are bullies too. It's a difficult decision.
Please wrap up your comments.
I choose to stand with Vivian, and I hope you all do diligence to investigate and support her too. Thank you.
Next, I have Mia Zhawa. Your name and zip code, please.
Okay, my name is Mel, zip code 98021. I'm here to support Vivian Dong. On August 30th, 2023, Mike Miller, the chair of the Lynnwood Public Facility District Board, sent a letter to the City Council explaining the PFD's intention to reiterate a vote of no confidence for board position number 2, which is held by Vivian. The main reason cited in this letter was, and I quote, actively promoting and coordinating a protest on PFD private property, referring to Olympia Spa. This statement is false. According to a report by the Lynnwood Times on June 18, 2023, nearly 100 pro-females owning space demonstrators led by sovereign women speak activists began gathering at 1:30 p.m. to support Olympia Spa. The protest was promoted and coordinated by Sovereign Women Speak, which was also confirmed by Sovereign Women Speak's Twitter post on June 8, 2023, at 5:28 p.m. I quote, "We are meeting Saturday, June 17th at 2 p.m. at the Lynnwood branch to protest the ruling against the Olympia Spa. Join us." I have known Vivian for 5 years and have been following her social media posts in both Chinese and English. I did not come across any post where she organized this protest. On the contrary, she had planned to attend a celebration for passing Chinese History Month, which she has supported for a few years, on the same day. At the last minute, she informed the organizer of the Chinese History Month event that she couldn't attend because she wanted to support the rights of Asian business owners at her doorstep. Mike used a falsified statement to attack his opponent simply because Vivian holds different political views. This is unethical. How can we trust a liar to be the board member? Thank you. Board chair. Thank you.
Next, Zhu Li.
Thank you, Council Member. Thank you, Mayor. And
Can you speak right into that microphone? It's a little sensitive.
it's a pleasure to be here. And I'm here formally request the resignation of Board Chair Mike Miller due to my loss of confidence in the transparency of the Lynnwood Public Facility District, both financially and operationally. It was with enthusiasm that I learned of the Lynnwood PFD's intention to spend 200 million on the expansion of the Lynnwood Event Center. However, as a concerned citizen, I feel obligated to ensure that our taxpayer money is utilized judiciously. So in my effort to stay informed, I saw the details about the next board meeting on their official website. But unfortunately, only to find a lack of information. There is no meeting notification on their website. Moreover, when I request public records for their past meetings several months ago, I have yet gotten us anything. So what deepens my concern is that the minutes from the recent board meetings mentioned a master plan. Yet, where is the public input for this master plan? And Janet Pope reported in May's meeting that no comments or questions regarding the master plan were received. It is documented in the minutes. However, the reality is that the public faces challenge in finding a platform to leave comments or review other folks' feedback on this very plan. Furthermore, with 200 million in question, the public struggles to find the financial report on this project on their official website. I tried several times. I don't see a single financial report on that. 200 million from our taxpayer. It's also come to my attention that their minutes do not document any public comments, which, to my understanding, is a breach of the bylaws. My future concerns lie with Mike Miller's integrity as a board chair. In April, when an Asian immigrant woman was appointed as a board member, within a span of less than 2 months, she faced undue exclusion for seemingly unfounded reasons. I must ask Mr. Miller, what measures have you and your associates taken to support Mr. Stone before voting no confidence in her? Lynnwood has an Asian population comprised over 18%. I'm profoundly disappointed to witness an Asian woman being treated poorly. Under board chair Mike Miller's tenure, my trust in Lynnwood PFD has been severely compromised. I have observed barriers erected between PFD and the public, preventing an open exchange of feedback. This had led me to question the fairness and transparency of the PFD board.
I'm sorry, can you finish up your comments, please?
First, I request a resignation of board chair Mike Miller. Thanks.
And could I get your zip code?
My zip code is 98021.
All right, thank you. Next, I have Vivian Dong.
Hello, Council. My name is Vivian, and my zip code is 98037. I love Lynnwood. This is my home. I've been here for more than 10 years. I've been active in local events focused on creating a safe place to raise my family. When I was appointed to the Lynnwood PFD board, I assumed the board would focus solely on business and community interests. I was wrong. Before the June Olympus Bar rally, I consulted with PFD attorney, board chair, and executive director multiple times to ensure I was doing the right thing. I received written affirmation of my actions. Despite this, I found myself facing politically motivated attacks just 2 months into my tenure. At the July 11th meeting, the PFD chair read a pre-written letter making false accusations against me, attacking my character. I was ambushed and unlawfully muted. Due process was entirely bypassed. A unanimous vote of no confidence was passed against me without opening the floor for comments, while I was muted on the Zoom. The chair later abruptly adjourned the meeting without a motion, second, or vote after press showed up. All violations of the PFD bylaws and the bills of power. In the month after being targeted, I discovered that the attacks had deeper roots. From the beginning, PFD Director Pope had a favored candidate and lobbied for their appointment. In addition, the board was used to unquestioned compliance and operating without public scrutiny, including their use of taxpayer money. When I joined, my push for greater transparency and data-driven decision-making conflicted sharply with the board's and directors' long-standing practices. This, combined with my advocacy for women and traditional Asian values, made me a target for retaliation and discrimination. Since then, I've faced countless and continuous false accusations. I'm disappointed that the PFD board has deviated from its core mission of economic development and instead decided to align with the political trend at the expense of serving the people of Lynnwood. Council, your votes today reach far beyond the simple board appointment. This is about advocating for truth over lies and lawful governance over abuse of power. It's a choice on whether to align with a politically motivated board that has not only bullied a new board member, but also bullied you. The votes today will set a vital precedent for how this council and this administration handle community involvement and differences of opinions in the city of Lynnwood. The tactics used against me could easily be employed against others in the future. If they can bully and oust me today, who will be the next Vivian Dong tomorrow? Thank you.
Next is Jason Moore.
Jason Moore, 98037. During the district board meeting held on July 11th of this year, there were multiple violations of the Washington State Open Public Meetings Act, the Washington State Constitution, and the United States Constitution, the City of Lynnwood Ordinance Number 226, and even the district's own bylaws, amended and reinstated March 1st, 2005. Mike Miller, Janet Pope, and the rest of the board members who coordinated ahead of the meeting made false allegations, silenced a fellow board member and city council member by unlawfully adjourning the meeting, suppressed a member's right to free speech and right to defend herself against allegations, and so on and so on. And if that is not bad enough, during the meeting, Janet Pope can be seen ordering and directing the chairman, Mike Miller, what to do during the meeting. Big thanks to Mario Lotmore for being there to capture an image of a note Janet handed to Mike during the meeting that read, "Lynnwood Times is here. You're free to say no to any interviews. You may want to adjourn before Jim Smith speaks." Right after Chair Miller read the note, he said, "I think the meeting has gone on long enough. I'm going to adjourn the meeting." Now I will read a section of RCW 4230-10 to remind all of our public servants what they are here for. The people of this state do not yield their sovereignty to the agencies which serve them. The people, in delegating authority, do not give public servants the right to decide what is good for the people to know and what is not good for them to know. The people insist on remaining informed and informing the people's servants of their views so that they may retain control over the instruments they have created. For those reasons, even when not required by law, public agencies are encouraged to incorporate and accept public comment during their decision-making process. We, the people in the city of Lynnwood, will not stand by while our elected officials or appointed officials run wild with free rein to do whatever they see fit, without the will of the approval of the people. Janet Pope, Mike Miller, all of the district staff over here, the council members, the mayor, and the city staff are the servants of the people of Lynnwood. And we expect them to conduct our business ethically, honestly, and lawfully. If you choose not to do so, then we will issue the proper notices, affidavits, complaints, and injunctions until your violations are corrected, or you resign, or you're found personally liable for your violations. Let this be your warning. We will expose you, and we will not stop until you're held accountable.
Alyssa Jones.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Jones, and I have been the executive director of Lynnwood Food Bank for more than 8 years. Part of my job is to regularly write references for volunteers, and I'm here tonight to share my observations of Mike Miller's character and of his interactions with the food bank community as a volunteer of Lynnwood Food Bank. Mike joined our board in the winter of 2019 and immediately demonstrated a deep commitment to our mission and our goals of increasing inclusivity. Not content with simply a board position, he began volunteering 4 days a week at the food bank, going above and beyond his role as a board member. It's important to note that when board members volunteer at the food bank, they work under the direction of the director, and Mike has always respected this policy. One of Mike's most remarkable qualities is his ability to connect with our community members. As one of the first people our food bank customers encounter, Mike consistently demonstrates respect, friendliness, and warmth. He goes the extra mile to greet people in their first languages, takes the time to learn about them and their families. Mike's presence has had a profound impact on our customers, many of whom consider him their favorite person. He has played a pivotal role in creating a welcoming and inclusive atmosphere in our diverse community, which is crucial as approximately 2/3 of our community consists of people of color and or immigrants. In addition to his welcoming nature, Mike has been an encouraging force behind our efforts to increase equity and inclusion within our organization. He is passionate about promoting diversity and addressing the health disparities that exist within our community among socioeconomic and racial lines. Mike's genuine dedication to our community's well-being is evident in his every action, and he has consistently advocated for making the food bank a safe and welcoming space for everyone, regardless of their background or identity. This extends to all marginalized groups, ensuring that our BIPOC, immigrant, and LGBTQAI+ clients and volunteers feel valued, respected, and safe when they visit or work with us. His contribution helps foster a sense of belonging, making the food bank a place where all individuals can access the support they need without fear of discrimination or prejudice. Mike's unwavering commitment to making the food bank a safe and welcoming space for everyone, regardless of their background or identity, is a testament to his character and leadership. I have full confidence in his ability to continue promoting diversity and inclusion in any capacity he serves. Thank you.
Next, I have Lamu Dawa.
Oh, hi, everyone. My name is Lamu Dawa. My zip code is 98036. I mentioned in last meeting, I moved here about 10 years ago. Now, with 2 kids, I consider Lynnwood as my home. And I didn't pay much attention to the Lynnwood community until I met Vivian. She serves as a significant bridge to the Asian community. Her commitment is strong, not only to herself and her family, but also to this community. And she remains true to her beliefs, and she stands firmly behind them. Her leadership is very strong, especially you can see the support she gathered today. And Vivian is passionate about our community, which is why she sought for this position to make a difference. I believe her dedication was clear to everyone, which is why she was initially chosen for this role. As Vivian and many others have pointed out, all she did was perform her duty, serving the community and asking questions. Yet, in a very short span of time, many people in the PFD treated her, unfairly, trying to remove her from her position. Why is someone who underwent multiple interviews and received approval from all of you and the community suddenly deemed unfit for this job? I came to U.S. as an immigrant, and we often have a deep appreciation for the freedom here, including freedom of speech. This country thrives on diverse voices, like, even you're a Republican or Democrat. You seems like you are having different opinions, but different opinions help to reach a balance. This dynamic is part of what makes America unique. Different opinions should be encouraged. Just like voting, you have different opinions, but you can still work together because the underlying intention is the same, to benefit the community, to the family, and over future generation. Vivian offer a different perspective, compare PFD. So is that really benefit to silence this voice and just maintain a group with uniform opinions? What if one day you become that person that, different than the other group? Do you want your voice to be silent, or you want to have a space that, everybody can share their opinions? So my conclusion is, I want to reinstate Vivian Dong and, vote to remove Mike Mullen, and finally, Janet Pop should consider resigning. Thank you.
Next is Glenn Bowers.
Council members, thank you for your time. My name is Glenn Bowers, 98036. During the last meeting, multiple people representing the Lynnwood PFD and other PFDs said this is all distraction and chaos. There's important business to do. Money is on the line. We need to focus on the business at hand. These people supporting Vivian are distracting the PFD, the county, the city from making money. We must push past these distractions, focus on making money for the county. They even claimed that you were wasting their time. Seems like it's all about the money. Let's talk about this distraction, the chaos as they called it. Who started this distraction? Mike Miller and Janet Pope started it. They've wasted your time. They have not been transparent. They have blocked every effort, internal and external, to investigate this. It has nothing to do with the luau. Vivian had every right to be there, even a board obligation to do so. Mike Miller and Janet Pope were upset that she had shown up after they had chastised her with a vote of no confidence. They didn't want her there. This all goes back to the women's rights event. Vivian did not plan that event. She didn't invite the 3%ers. Vivian merely attended. Vivian asked for permission to go. The PFD gave her permission to attend. They set her up. All of this distraction comes from the simple fact that Vivian holds different political opinions than Janet Pope and Mike Miller. The distraction is that Janet Pope and Mike Miller cannot handle anyone on the board who holds a different political opinion than theirs. They need lackeys and minions who will blindly follow them. They were very upset that Vivian attended the event. Every tiny part of this fiasco is of Janet Pope and Mike Miller's making. The entire thing was a non-issue. If they hadn't created this distraction and fabricated the lies about Vivian, the PFD could have continued doing the important business that they are tasked with. Mike Miller has abused his power. He has violated the PFD code of conduct. He has violated more of the code than he's actually followed. You cannot vote to reinstate him. You need to fire Janet Pope. She has stonewalled this entire investigation. She is in charge of the PFD public records request. She's paid nearly $200,000 per year. But what does she do? She's never in her office. She never responds to FOIA requests. How is that possible? Apparently, the PFD board itself is the only group that evaluates Janet's performance. No wonder she wants the board packed with her flunkies. The PFD is a rogue group that desperately needs your specific and increased oversight. They are using the promise of money and local economic development as a way to force you to overlook their unlawful behavior. You must not vote to reinstate Mike Miller. Give Vivian a chance. Please do vote to reinstate Vivian to her role on the board, and Janet Pope needs to go. Thank you for your time.
Next on the list, Janet Pope.
Janet Pope, Executive Director of the Lynnwood PFD, 98036. A month ago, I asked for a fair and impartial investigation of the PFD's vote of no competence for Vivian Dong. The PFD board publicly voted and submitted the no competence vote 3 months ahead of the reappointment schedule, with plenty of time to attend council work sessions and answer questions, which has never happened. I have to add, it seems unfair again that just because Ms. Dong's supporters showed up at 5 o'clock and signed up on the sheet, that it looks like we may not have time for all of our supporters to attend, which seems very unfair and biased. No one is contesting that Ms. Dong had the right to attend a protest based on her First Amendment rights. She honestly can believe whatever she wants. She just can't let it get in the business of the PFD, which is what happened. We have a very diverse board with very diverse opinions. We are not solely minded. What Ms. Dong did not share was her direct involvement to prepare and promote a protest on PFD private property, a protest with people attending in full body armor, carrying concealed guns, and placing backpacks on our property, which we assume was in anticipation of violence. It was very scary, and tenants did send staff home and close their businesses that day. Even the Lynnwood Police Department was concerned for the safety of our staff on site. A member of the 3 Percenters, right-wing extremists who Ms. Dong interacts positively with on social media, was in my face, pressuring me to allow him to park his protest bus in front of the spa. We have shared emails with Councilmember number 4 from the owner of Olympus Spa, Sun Lee, stating that he did not support the protest. We were supporting him. In fact, he called it absurd and was very distraught in his phone calls with me. Ms. Dong was aware of this and continued to promote the protest on private property and in front of his business, violating his tenant rights. Councilmember number 4, through his own research, received confirmation from Lynnwood Police Commander Fagan that attendance estimates were coming from Safe Lynnwood, which Ms. Dong is the founder and administrator. I know there has also been discussion that we have not responded to public records faster. We have 2.5 staff, and the millions of master plan redevelopment, on top of overseeing the event center and our property management, makes our days pretty intense. We lost our other part-time staff person who put formally in her resignation letter that it was due to the behavior of Vivian Dong. We have responded in good faith to the requests in full compliance with the Public Records Act and submitted many documents, even those that have nothing to do with this thing that we've been inundated with. We have had requests for over 8,000 emails and texts and don't have the systems to properly cache and review this many records for anything that should be redacted. I assure you we are trying, and we are very frustrated ourselves, and we've hired additional technical help to address this. The records that Mr. Lockmore is talking about by our bylaws fall under the Public Records Act, and he has received the documents other than the emails. We can't just allow somebody to come in.
Your time is up.
Thank you very much. Please respect the vote of our 4 very capable, committed board members. Thank you.
Thank you. Nas/Gary. Excuse me, Mr. Lockmore, can you settle?
Hello, Nas/Gary 98037. I'm the former chair of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Commission. I currently serve on the Planning Commission for the City of Lynnwood and serve on the Snohomish County Public Facilities District Board. The Lynnwood PFD has an important tourism and economic development agenda as the City of Lynnwood is launching an ambitious urban renewal plan which the board, along with the staff, are accountable for. I am perplexed by how much time the council has spent deliberating the appointment of PFD board position number 2, Ms. Vivian Dong. It is frustrating to see in a city where the flag of all are welcome is raised at its city hall, it is holding yet another meeting to discuss the appointment of someone who in this chamber has called the pride flag and its community members disgrace. As a county PFD board member, I don't know how such public displays of hate and comments by any board member can be a value add for an economic board that is undertaking a multi-million downtown renewal project which appeal to quality brands that take such issues very seriously. Board members need to bring value to the board, not chaos and drama. And this evening you have allotted 45 minutes for continued debate. Has the PFD been given 45 minutes to share why a respected and diverse board of distinguished community members have voted no confidence? No, they are allowed 2 to 3 minutes to be part of the public comments and limited speaking time, and individuals such as I must come out and add a voice to the no confidence vote that is obvious to the community at large. So much time has been wasted with no formal or transparent review by council. So I'm asking, during the 45-minute council member-only discussion, will you share which one of the other council members also attended the June rally on PFD property against the LGBTQ plus community? With such facts, shouldn't this council member recuse himself from any vote or not serve as a lead investigator? As a former chair of DEI, I say that is an important filter and should be part of the public record for the public to be assured that the council acts in support of the community and not their personal agendas. And that is why we are here debating ad nauseum if hate speech and violations of code of conduct have a place on publicly appointed boards. You are elected officials. Have you considered how this drama you are inflicting on the PFD could have significant repercussions for the important work of the event center
your
and
time
PFD
is up.
property development? I urge you to respect the vote of no confidence by the 4 members. Thank you.
Next is Mike Miller.
Good evening, Mike Miller.
Can you speak into that microphone a little
All
bit?
right, is that better?
That is.
We good? Mike Miller, PFD Board Chair, 98036. You've already heard that the PFD Board of No Confidence to Vivian Dong was not about attending a protest, but about her direct behavior in promoting and preparing for the protest on district private property against the wishes of our tenant, Olympus Spa. I want to really stress that. We were very careful about that. We support our tenants. She did not. She did not ask anybody at the PFD how the protest would impact the PFD and our tenants. Dong was told she had the First Amendment right to attend the protest if she chose. However, there is a distinction between simply attending a protest and actively helping to organize a protest that will negatively impact the PFD. Since we do not have the power to remove a board member, we came to the Lynnwood City Council for your help. The 4 other board members who this council appointed unanimously voted to ask for your help. We hoped you would honor our request, yet we have no formal outreach to the PFD board to present our evidence, participate in a fair and unbiased investigation. Now it appears there is an agenda tonight to undermine the process of our request. Positions 4 and 2 told you that we had some sort of a secret meeting to plan for the vote. The evidence will tell you we did not. The multiple legal advisors we sought out will confirm that we did not. The PFD board is on solid ground. Council position number 4 was told very clearly by board member Webster it didn't happen. 3 other board members are here tonight. You can ask us if you want to. There has been no real investigation by 4 and 2. One last piece of information. Dong is an MBA. She is extraordinarily well educated. She is very, very bright. She is multilingual. However, this MBA didn't know that most small businesses, our tenants, don't make their net profit till the 3rd or 4th weekend of a month. So she shut down those businesses on an important Saturday. Dong has no remorse about the lost profits of the district businesses. She never will have. Dong has a disregard for common courtesy and a blatant expression of undeserved entitlement.
Next is Mary Kay Rupp.
Mary Kay Rep 98. I heard everyone say 98. I'm sorry. It's 99206. I don't know what I was saying. I'm the marketing consultant for the PFD, and I've been following the media reported related to the issue. I've also followed Ms. Dong's posts on social media. At the 925 meeting, I testified that the assertions that Ms. Dong was attacked at the luau were false. And in following the reporting of Ms. Dong, it appears that making false accusations is a pattern of behavior to advance her politics. For example, in promoting the June rally, she publicized that it was in support of Olympus Spa when she was told that the owner did not support the rally and asked for it to be stopped. Ms. Dong has publicly said that the PFD board is racist and yet has never presented one proof point, whereas the PFD has submitted a full letter and reasons for their vote of no confidence. Dong claims to have been attacked at the Lynnwood Luau, yet she never filed a police report or any other claim. I personally was standing next to her the entire time, and there was no racial or physical attacks. Not related to the PFD, at the 925 council meeting, she claimed that Acadia was not providing security services any longer. Dan Hymas of Acadia told Lynnwood Today that she was incorrect and they continue to provide security. She also said that the Acadia was not holding monthly meetings anymore and the Boys and Girls Clubs were concerned about their safety. According to Lynnwood Today, Council President Sessions corrected her statements, saying that she understood that Acadia is still having their monthly meetings, and in the conversation with the Alderwood Boys and Girls Club, they had nothing but good things to say about Acadia. My point is there's a pattern, not just with the PFD, but of making things up to discredit others in seeking her own political agenda. The PFD has an important economic redevelopment task that does hinge on public perception. What if a prospective business, large employer, or festival believed that the PFD was racist? What if they believed that a board member had attacked another board member, as Ms. Dong has publicly stated? What if they read some of her online hate speech and derogatory name-calling, such as calling LGBT community members groomers, or noted her interactions with known racist extremists, or her comments like, "Guess that rainbow flag didn't protect you much when someone was murdered on Capitol Hill"? Would a potential client think that there was reflective on the whole PFD? The city should know from its recent investments in attracting tourism that branding is everything, and once it's lost, it's hard to win back. Would you take your business to Lynnwood and work with the PFD? The answer is no. Not when there were
Your
many...
time has expired.
Thank you. I ask that you please do not reappoint Vivian Dong.
Robin Spencer.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. My name is Robin Spencer, and my zip code is 92101. I am the festival manager for the Lynnwood Public Facilities District. I manage the Lynnwood Luau, which was created to help demonstrate the district's vision of being community-driven and inclusive. The intent was to launch new outdoor festivals to the city that celebrates a community and demonstrates the district's desire to provide more public benefits. At the Luau specifically, we wanted to share the district's beautiful rebrand and how the master plan will create a new, exciting space in town. The tragic fires in Maui caused us to also focus on how we could help that community as well, the Hawaiian community. Unfortunately, Ms. Dong's behavior that day caused much frustration, sorrow, and anger at an otherwise fabulous success. By coming to the district booth and planting herself there without ever asking how she could help, what she could say, and having her friends just film everyone in their faces created a lot of drama. She was asked to step aside 3 times by different people, including myself. She said she was there to interpret in Mandarin for the community, but I only witnessed her talking to her husband and friends. She could have easily stepped aside and walked around the event, the whole property, talking to the community if that was her goal. But again, she knew nothing about the information that she should share, and she didn't bother to ask. Board members are definitely encouraged to come into the space and act as ambassadors for the greater good. But if they decide to appoint themselves as a translator for specific information, shouldn't they know at least what they're supposed to be saying? Why did she plant herself in an already cramped booth and refuse to leave unless her intent was to create chaos that her friends could conveniently capture for future media boosts? The team staffing the booth that day were some of the same ones that had been in weekly planning meetings for months. They were the most informed people to be communicating with the public. Sadly, we had to abandon plans to communicate everything that is to grow at the district and shut it down because of the disruption Ms. Dong was causing. As we've witnessed here tonight, it's a pattern. Ms. Dong seems to want to put herself and her needs in front of the district's. Not very becoming of a board member. I do want to add that I did witness Chair Miller's conversation with Ms. Dong that day, and he never, ever, ever said anything racist. Many people have told me he was more patient with her than they would have been in that infuriating situation. In fact, giving her rudeness and condescension towards me that day when I approached her to problem solve, I felt that she was being racist to me. Now that I've read some of her Twitter feed and her frequently animosity towards Black people, I understand why, including being told this very evening as I walked through the crowd of her supporters to go and take a seat. Thank you for your time. Oh, and most importantly, November 10th, we are doing what we call Heroes Among Us. It's a veterans lunch, and I hope that all of you will be able to come and join us that day. We will be sending you email invites. Thank you for your time tonight.
Next is Lori Meager. Lori will be our last speaker.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Lori Maher, zip code 98020, and I'm the interim executive director of Edmonds Center for the Arts. In 2001, under RCW 35.57, Edmonds City Council approved the formation of Edmonds Public Facilities District. The district in turn developed the Performing Arts Center known as ECA, which opened its door in 2006. Edmonds PFD is one of 4 public facilities districts in Snohomish County. Snohomish County is the only county in the state of Washington to have more than one public facilities district. As a local government entity, each public facilities district is responsible to its local taxpayers to ensure it's operating responsibly, efficiently, and effectively. When an Edmonds PFD board position comes available, our recruitment process begins with a collaborative process between current staff and board members to identify the skills and experience we need to help the organization achieve its strategic goals. Once this assessment is completed, an updated position description and application is released to the public via our website, the City of Edmonds website, trade publications, local media, e-blasts, and more. Once the application deadline is passed, qualified candidates are invited for an interview. Through the interview process, which may include a second round, provides all parties with the opportunity to ensure each candidate has a firm understanding of the purpose of the district, the operational and strategic work that ECA and the PFD are focused on, what the organization's long-term goals are, and what the expectations of the successful candidate will be during their term of service. PFD staff and the boards who govern and support the organizations they oversee have a responsibility to focus on serving the communities they are appointed to serve. They need to be focused on the critical work of operating their regional centers. Their success is predicated on their ability to stay aligned in the mission, vision, values, and successful operation of their regional centers. A lack of strategic alignment, conflicts of interest, or a lack of knowledge of the organization's history, current programs and operations, and strategic initiatives can limit the growth and success of the district. PFD board members are legally responsible for the PFD's governance, policy development, and financial oversight. We believe those who currently work or serve on a PFD board are best positioned to identify the most qualified board candidates to ensure the regional center's success. Lynnwood PFD has incredible plans for transforming their property into a 24/7 live, work, play destination that will drive new tourism and economic development that we will all benefit from. We at ECA are excited and a little jealous to see what is on the horizon for your district. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions or would like any further information on Edmonds PFD board application, interview, and appointment process. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you.
Thank you.
Mayor Frizzell, I'd like to can I make a motion to extend the public comment section? I think it's only right that we hear, before we make such an important decision, the opinions of everybody else.
You could make that
I'd like to make that a motion.
Second.
Councilmember Bender, would you like to speak to that motion?
Yeah, I just think that it's important that we hear all opinions before we make such an important decision. I think there's more people on this side and probably on this side as well that'd like to speak.
Any other comments or questions about the motion? Councilmember Hurst?
I was wondering, do you have a list of folks and how many more are there?
I do. I show that there's 8 more people signed up, and I don't know if there's anyone on Zoom.
Okay.
Councilmember Altamirano Crosby?
I'm just curious how many more minutes there are left.
Oh, we've completed an hour.
Okay.
Councilmember Smith?
Yeah. Yes. If we're going to do that, I'll support that as long as if there's anybody that did not sign up and they want to speak, we allow them. So it'd be fair on both sides, all sides.
All right. Any clarification? All right. Roll call vote, please.
Council Vice President Altamirano Crosby?
Yes.
Councilmember Hurst?
Yes.
Councilmember Sutton?
Yes.
Councilmember Decker?
Yes.
Council President Sessions?
Yes.
Councilmember Binda?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Ray Liao?
Okay, let me see if we can adjust this. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, hi, I made the cut. Ray Liao, zip code 98020.
So I am also connected to Edmonds Public Facilities District, and I am on their board of directors. Last Friday, the Edmonds Public Facility District Board submitted a letter to all council members, and if you didn't get a chance to review that letter, I hope you do. And that's regarding the city's appointment process in general that complements our wonderful interim director's comments you just heard, Lori Maher. So my comments tonight, though, are my own. Both as a board member, but also because I am a land use attorney, and I do work with Lynnwood Public Facilities District on their master plan. I've been working with them for the last year, and I know that you are all familiar with it. I've seen the presentations in open public meeting, just as they've done in the open public meetings that they have about the master plan, and it's really exciting for Lynnwood. And we look forward to continue to talk about the district's plans in the coming year with the council. Well, I'm not here tonight to talk about the master plan. I'm doing this intentionally to give you guys kind of a 10,000 foot step back into this process and kind of what the intent of the district's role here in Lynnwood is to do. By law, the district's mandate is narrow. They exist to construct, operate, and maintain a regional center, specifically the Lynnwood Event Center. Outside of ensuring that the development and operation of the Lynnwood Event Center is a success, both financially as well as for the Snohomish County community overall, the district's board is not one of policymaking. The other piece that I want to point out is that appointments to the PFD the PFD is a separate legal organization from the City of Lynnwood. These appointments are very different than your commissions and task forces. You are not elected per se to oversee their work at all. They report directly to the state auditor. A lot of the financial reports and concerns that have been raised tonight are on the state auditor's website, and everything is made available to the public through that venue as well. Board members have a legal and fiduciary responsibility to the district as a result. Their role is much more like a nonprofit board member than it is, again, a body serving under the city council. And I think that's important to remember here because who you think of to sit on a board, they really need to work together in order to accomplish a central and specific mission and purpose. I think those characteristics and qualifications of what that board has identified, what the district has identified needed for success, is in their resolution 1901, which was presented to you all at your September 5th meeting, I believe. I don't think it was in your packet tonight. But the qualifications and the criteria that are recommended for their board are one that reflects a culture of goal orientation, a high degree of mutual respect and collaboration, and mutual trust and confidence. The qualifications for board members include a strong business background, commitment to the PFD, and respect for commitment to cooperative culture. And I hope as you all go into your decision, you keep those in mind. Thank you very much.
Rosario Reyes.
Rosario Reyes. I'm a City of Lynnwood resident for 35 years, zip code 98036. I'm a PFD board member appointed by this council. As a member of the BIPOC community, I'm very sad to see Lynnwood involved in this situation. My vote of no confidence for Vivian Dong was because she placed a higher value on her personal politics than PFD tenants and our work for the event center. Ms. Dong was told that San Lee, the owner of Olympic Spa, did not want the protest, and yet she continued to help organize it and promote it. It took considerable cost for private security to safeguard the spa, event center, and all of our tenants from the protesters that saved Lynnwood, the group that Ms. Dong founded and invited him to the event. Mr. Lee was very grateful for the work that the PFD did protecting his property that day. In any board, you are requested to be open to serving all community members and supporting our local businesses, especially in this type of a board, which means listening to the concerns and requests of our board members. Mr. Dong needed to protect our people and our property. That's the code of conduct that we must all abide, and she did not. Statements of hate are bad for our business, potentially harming the millions of dollars that the PFD brings to the city. As a PFD board member, I do not want the PFD to be further damaged by any false and dangerous allegations. The PFD cannot move forward and do business as usual unless the situation gets resolved. As a city, we are dealing with challenging times, meaning that now, more than ever, we need to foster unity with all members of our community in order to support the many needs that this city has. Thank you.
David Lai. David Lai, L-I, last name. David Lee. Nancy Gu.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Nancy Guo, 98037. Hold on. I really want to express serious concern about how the PFD board acted dishonestly regarding what actually took place at the Lynnwood Luau event. Vivian was there in her official capacity as a board member of the Lynnwood PFD. She wasn't just welcome. Her presence was crucial for connecting with the Asian community and the Chinese community, especially those with language difficulties. Vivian was fulfilling her role as a board member. Janepo and my Miner's action and comments were not just inappropriate, they were disrespectful and racist to Vivian. I was at the event and witnessed it all. Mr. Miner's behavior was downright unprofessional. He openly questioned Vivian's role and even made belittling comments like, "Do you even run out of all the words? And do you even say anything more than once?" This goes beyond simple rudeness. It shows a complete lack of respect for a community leader and the community she represents. The PFD staff and director then spread lies about Vivian and even falsely accused me and other Asian guests of blocking the book. I have requested security video through public records, but it's been over a month and I still haven't received it. What are they hiding? Why are they so afraid to share the video? I'm completely disgusted by bullying and by the bullying and abusive behavior from Minor and Poe. They pretend to stand for diversity and community care, but then they bully an Asian woman just because she doesn't align with their left-wing ideologies. Actually, personal beliefs and politics should be left at the door. Since they cannot do that, and it's causing bad PR for the PFD, I strongly urge you not to reappoint Mike Miner. I also call for Director Janepo to resign due to her incompetence. Thank you.
Grace Gill. Grace.
Hi, my name is Grace, zip code 98177. We used to stay aside from the distance. This is the first time ever I am in a situation. I've been in USA for 29 years. I've been citizen for 20 years. But usually we just focus on our own business and not want to get involved with this. But only 3 days ago I heard about this. I feel like I need to know more about what's going on, what is happening in the public areas. And because if you want to, you don't want to deal with the politics, but the politics will come to your front door. So I think, as a citizen, everybody should do something to make our country greater. So appreciate councils. This is the first time I really see you, and I was really prepared. I hope I don't have to speak, but I appreciate you guys give us a chance because I was kind of feel released if I don't have to speak. So thank you very much. And your service to the community make a big difference. But I'm not here to say how Vivian Dong, how great she is. I only get to know her 3 days ago, a little bit. But the fact is, I was very deeply troubled by how Mr. Miller, I'm just talking about the fact that I was watching the video on July 11th. I believe everybody know about that. If you don't, you can go watch that. It was just my expectation for the public figures are probably should be much better. But when I sensed like Mr. Miller supposed to be independent to behave himself, but Ms. Pope was manage Mr. Miller, according to my opinion and many other friends' opinion. So I don't think that's professional. And this is really not American, USA officer or public figures should do. So I don't know how you will explain about your behavior. I don't think, when I was little, I was a president of my class when I was in elementary school. During, there's a meeting there, I was talking in front of my classmates, talking to another vice president, private individually. During a meeting, then I was criticized by my teacher. They said, you're supposed not to do that.
Your time is complete.
Thank you very much. I just urging you to just rethink about to get rid of the Mr. Miller out of this community. Thank you very much.
Charlene Lefevre.
Thank you. My name is Charlotte Lefevre, she, her. I'm a Lynnwood resident.
Zip code?
98036.
Thank you.
As you know, there are persons in our community who would like to disparage the pride flag. And I find that appalling and contrary to the City of Lynnwood's commitment to diversity. These persons should not be elected or appointed to any position within the city. Lynnwood's pride is being established. Its mission will be to welcome a safe and supportive LGBTQAI plus community space within the city of Lynnwood, where all LGBTQAI families and allies can gather to live, work, and play, welcoming people, all orientations, all ages and backgrounds, under the rainbow tree. That will be our logo for our new nonprofit. It's disconcerting that Lynnwood to date has never had a major pride event, even when smaller cities in Snohomish County have celebrated. Unlike the protests in June of this year, Lynnwood Pride hopes to strengthen community and not divide. We hope you will join us. And I want to sit there and say, and I want to commend Mike Miller. He's a person Lynnwood should be very proud of, and you that know him. And I want to invite those who do not know Mike Miller to be brave enough to introduce yourself, get to know him, as I have done firsthand. I'm not going by hearsay or one person's comment. Mike Miller, you know, has put in decades of community service. And you know this, and I commend him. And I highly suggest that the City Council reappoint him to the PFD board. Thank you.
Philip Lipson.
Hello. My name is Philip Lipson, 98036 Lynnwood. We're still looking for answers regarding the June 17th protest at the Lynnwood Convention Center. How a right-wing militia, the Three Percenters, considered a terrorist group in Canada and a hate group, were given space in the city to spew nothing but hate. There was a city council appointed PFD member who promoted this militia on her social media, who knew that the militia would attend and posted and promoted their presence 2 days before the protest. A protest, I would like to say, that was challenging our own Washington State Supreme Court ruling protecting transgender rights. There was a city council member who attended the protest and stood by this PFD board member who was promoting this militia and made cryptic comments. In these kind of situations, it's better roll up the sleeves and get to work. What the heck does that mean? I asked Jim Smith to explain what he meant by his comments. These appear to be hostile statements. I want your explanation and transparency to the public. The residents of Lynnwood need a council that is honest and does not pass off responsibility. I believe these right-wing rallies undermine the safety of the city of Lynnwood to its diversity community, and we need to admit and learn from our mistakes. I am proud to announce I'm now a founding board member of Lynnwood Pride. Today I'm also asking you, as other speakers have in the recent past, to vote along with the rest of the PFD board who has decades of proven community service and vote out a person who has cost the city of Lynnwood its reputation. Thank you.
That completes the list of all who signed up to speak. We're now going to switch to Zoom.
Your Honor, I have Teresa. Teresa, if you would please accept promote so that you can speak to us. Go ahead, Teresa.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you tell us your name and your zip code, please?
Okay. Hi, my name is Teresa Jansen. I'm a resident of Lynnwood, and my zip code is 98036. I am speaking on the topic of PFD Board Chair Mike Miller's reappointment to the board. Based on the video evidence I've reviewed, Mr. Miller is a racist bully who carries out Executive Director Ms. Janet Pope's orders. He and Ms. Pope have been trying very hard to remove Ms. Vivian Dong from the board because they didn't get their preferred candidate for position number 2, and Ms. Pope only wants yes men on the board. The other board members have been there for years, and no one has questioned Ms. Pope's spending. Ms. Dong has raised questions about contracting, the outsourcing of event planning, and Ms. Pope's traveling expenses, and Ms. Pope does not like it. Ms. Dong, as well as the Lynnwood Times, have requested public records and asked to inspect these books and records numerous times. You've heard from the Lynnwood Times reporter. It has been months, and Ms. Pope has been making excuses to delay. She has only provided basic things like bylaws, codes of conduct, but not emails or financial records. It doesn't take that much time to put together financial records. Janet Pope, do you think we're stupid enough to believe that you're too busy to put the records together? Why don't you just spend a few hours on it when you go home tonight and get it done? Or is it that you have something to hide? As the board chair, Mr. Miller serves as Ms. Pope's leading yes man, as well as her bouncer, keeping the PFD as an exclusive club and using intimidation tactics to try to scare away any newcomers who dare to question Ms. Pope's actions. Look at what Mr. Miller said to Ms. Dong at the Lynnwood Luau event. Quote, "There are no one here that wants you truly here, except maybe this guy," referring to the cameraman, unquote. In response to the speaker who spoke about Mr. Miller's character and commitment to inclusivity at the food bank, please watch the video and tell me what is inclusive about it when he tells Ms. Dong to leave. Or is it that he is selective when it comes to who to include, and Chinese community members are not on his list? Ms. Dong and the community she represents are fighters. An attack on Ms. Dong is an attack on all of us. We will not be scared away by this racist bully. Mr. Miller is a disgrace to our community and unfit for his position as board chair. Reappointing him to the board would enable Ms. Pope to continue her questionable spending, hide records from the public, and use intimidation
Your time is
tactics
complete. Please
against
finish your
any
comment.
board member they don't like.
Thank you.
Bringing in Bennett now. Bennett, please accept the promotion. By promotion, I mean promote a panelist, not giving him a promotion. Go ahead, Bennett.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you please tell us your name and your zip code?
Yes, Bennett Fan, 98036. I want to play a video clip of what happened in the July PFD board meeting. Note this happened after the board chair read a pre-prepared 10-minute long statement against Ms. Dong. She was given less than 2 minutes to defend herself before she was interrupted and muted.
You are using some false reasons to retaliate against me for exercising my First Amendment right, for voicing my concern about having biological males showing up in private spaces that only women and girls share.
That's
and
another
no,
question.
no, you are not.
Josh? Vivian, thank you for your comments. We guarantee your First Amendment rights. Wally Webster and I are veterans. We went a step further to guarantee your First Amendment rights. I'm going to ask Chair for the motion in effect. I would like to include a vote of no confidence in Vivian Dong as a member of this commission. Can I get a second? Second, thank you. All in favor? Rosario, aye. Wally Webster, aye. Aye. Myself, aye. That motion, we have, thank you, Rosario. We now have a vote of no confidence for you, Vivian. And we're going to continue with the meeting at this point, but you're welcome to leave at this point.
Can I say, so you are not going to allow me to say anything?
Not if you ramble on.
Can I get the floor at some point?
You will be able to, Jim. We have a spike for you at the end of the meeting here.
You just saw it. The chair unilaterally muted a fellow board member and rushed to pass on the motion without opening the floor for comment. This was a blunt violation of the PFD bylaws. That's not the worst part. Now watch what happened next. This is when Lynnwood Times showed up in the meeting after the vote. Director Pope secretly passed a note to Chair Miller after seeing the journalist entering the room. The note said, "Lynnwood Times is here. You might want to adjourn before Jim speaks."
Chair, are you ready for that? Or would you like to do something else with this meeting?
I think this meeting has gone on long enough, so I'm going to adjourn the meeting effective.
So Miller immediately adjourned the meeting without a motion, which violated the PFD bylaws yet again. Clearly, they were trying to hide their actions from the public and the press. Director Pope was supposed to serve the board, but instead instructed the chair to follow her command. Chair Miller and Director Pope abused their powers and violated the PFD Code of Conduct. They're disgraceful and unfit for the positions.
You
I
need
strongly
to
urge
wrap up your
you to
comments.
reappoint
Your
Chair
time
Miller
has
and
expired.
Call for the resignation of Director Pope.
Thank you. Are there other attendees on Zoom?
We have 3 more, and hands keep raising. Do we want to call it at this 3?
Council already voted to continue until we were done.
Okay. I am bringing in Yangling Fang now.
Excuse me?
Bringing in Yangling Fang.
Okay, here I am. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we
Can you
can.
tell us
Thank
your
you.
name and your zip code, please?
Sure. My name is Yang Ling Fang. My zip code is 98036. I'm here today because I support the community in Woodinville. I'm a big fan of the Lynnwood Community Center. Every time I go there swim, at least one Asian face among the 5 people that I've run into the hallway. So the reason why I'm saying this is there are a lot of people in Asian community in Lynnwood which previously didn't pay much attention, but in the past couple of months, we came to care more about the city, care more about the public facility district. As a statistic shows, Lynnwood has 57.9% white, 8.8% Black or African Americans, 0.3% American Indian and Alaska Native alums, and 17.1 Asians. That's a lot, and it's growing. So we are participating in the cities. We're building the cities together. To be honest, we care more about having better facility, having better city, better lives for people living here, for people like us who call this home. We have children here. We invest our futures in here. We want the city to be good. That's the reason why we're here. We're not particular about supporting any board or supporting or dissupporting whoever. We want the city to be good. We want everyone to be held accountable for building the city that represent the community's needs, right? So today at this meeting, I just want to point out 2 contradicting things. So one voice always saying, like Vivian, who I happen to know a couple months ago from the news, that she organized some protest or participated in the organizer. But repeatedly, I've heard evidence saying she doesn't even know the organizer. The organizer doesn't even know her. She just happened to be there. Like, this really contradicts a lot of the allegation that's put on her. And as an Asian mom myself, I totally understand her frustration when she were attracted by the news about Lynnwood, what's happening in Lynnwood, and wanted to make the city a better city for our children, for our fellow communities. We want to spend the energy on the right place, build better community infrastructure, more life, more jobs, more incomes. We don't want to waste in political wars. No, that's a waste of money, waste of our money. So that's the reason why I'm here today. I want to state the fact there are 17.1 Asians, and it's growing in Lynnwood, and we are starting to pay attention. Okay, so please take us seriously and stop burning these wasteful energy and money in just, like the trap that you guys set up for a new board member. I don't think that's a good spend of any of our time. I hope this matter came to a good resolution and we can all move on to build better Lynnwood. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next person on Zoom.
Bringing in Yvonne.
Hello. Can anyone hear me?
Yes. Can you say
Hello?
your name and your zip code, please?
Okay, sure. So my name is Yvonne. My zip code is 98037. I'm a resident in Lynnwood. I've been here at this whole meeting. I have to say the attack and bullying that happened within the PFD board was so disappointing. And I was so shocked to see all those lying are still flying around in tonight's meeting from Mike Miller, like including he mentioned that, oh, Vivian has an MBA, which is like how you can just make lies like that. But setting this aside, the false allegation aside, the greatest irony lies in this fact was the PFD board has accused Vivian of harming the district public image, but in reality, it is the action of the board itself that has significantly tarnished PFD's reputation, and even to the extent of city of Lynnwood. And here I just want to quote some comments from social media, just give you a taste. Quote, absolutely disgusting. People in Lynnwood need to step up and get elected because it's clear there's a cabal in there that isn't working for your benefit. They think they should be wearing powered wig instead of serving as public servant. King County needs 10,000 more Vivians instead. Disgusting. Let's change Lynnwood back to the great city it was. Jenny Pope seems to think her pronoun is God. How can we support Vivian Dong? This infuriates me. I guess Jen Pope has a problem with people who have morale and integrity. Well, as you can see, most of the social media comments are centered on the board's alleged racism and their intolerance towards differing political views. If their criteria for removal are based on damage of PFD's reputation, then by their own measure, their actions warrant similar consequences. It is evident that Mike Miller and Jen Pope are no longer suitable candidates to serve on the board. We cannot trust them to use our tax money for the betterment of the community, as they have demonstrated abusing the power for personal gain. I urge you, as a member of City Council, to vote for the truth and justice. Please support Vivian Dong and remove Mike Miller from the board. Thank you very much.
And the last hand up is Kim McKella. I'll bring them in now.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Kim.
Kim, can you tell us your name and your zip code?
Significant landowner in Lynnwood. I am a fourth generational Seattleite and PNW and own properties in Seattle, Tacoma, and Lynnwood. And as a fourth generational family, have been here for many generations where we welcome many immigrants and embrace immigrants, love the diversity, love the city becoming more diverse, all cities, the region becoming more diverse. That's something that my family has always embraced because we were immigrants. I do have a problem when immigrants take on other immigrants. That bothers me. It bothers me when I see hate by people who have moved into my community only 10 years. 10 years. Lived in Lynnwood 10 years. And they take on other people who have lived in Lynnwood for 50, 60, 70 years and committed themselves to that community. That bothers me because I am a heritage family. I also watch what's happening with the PFD in Lynnwood because I own significant land in Lynnwood. And I'm becoming concerned that I actually don't want to deal with the city of Lynnwood, which means I'm not going to sell my land to someone else. I wouldn't do that. I will just let it lay low. I won't rent it. I'll let it go delegate. I will let it go to the next third, fifth, seventh generation. That's not going to help you meet your goals. So all I'm saying tonight is there are many of us who are immigrant families, started in this land, believe in this land, believe in prosperity, believe in urban development, believe in immigrants, believe in everything that's done, but you don't pick on people when you've only been here for 10 years. You just don't do that. And you really don't do it with a city that has very broad-based redevelopment goals and deep, deep-seated roots in how we own land. Things should be fair. Things should be transparent. Things should be regulated. I totally agree with that. This process is an embarrassment, an absolute embarrassment, and you should be embarrassed as elected officials.
Can you give us your zip code before you leave?
How many zip codes? I'm across.
Where do you live?
Almost Seattle, 98105.
Thank you. All right, another Zoom.
Bringing in Jade. Go ahead, Jade.
Jade, can you give us your name and your zip code, please? Are you with us?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you give us your name and your zip code, please?
Yes. This is Jay from 98037. I'm one of the Asian, which is the second largest ethnic group living in Lynnwood for more than 5 years. I honestly have never cared about the Lynnwood community this much before I knew about Vivian. She shared the luau event information, and I went to the event with my family and had great fun. But after that, I saw the clip about how Vivian was treated by Mike Miller and the public comments recording that are against Vivian. All the accusations they have against Vivian are without any proof. No documentation, no recording, nothing, but only the words from their mouths. All they have are lies, lies, lies. For example, they kept asking Vivian, they kept saying Vivian has given misinformation. Can they actually prove that? Can they show the information that Vivian gave out that was wrong? Vivian 在哪里可以拿到这个话券？那边的摊位可以。What did I just say? I doubt many of you know, especially the ones who try to remove Vivian. You don't actually know what she has said, but because you want to remove her, you make up lies and said that she gave out misinformation. You accuse her for things she's never done. That was actually our conversation during the event. Vivian, where can I get the lei? The booth over there. That's it. They try to remove Vivian because she's different, because she asks why. And they are trying to remove her without any legitimate reasons. Personal bias should have been qualified as legitimate reasons. Before you accuse her, please show evidence of what she has done wrong and not just the words or verbal attacks. And before you try to remove her, please at least show the investigation report requested by Decker back in July. And talk about Acadia. If it's not because of Vivian, who cares about the community safety and the protests we had, there may not even be any extra security provided by Acadia at all from the beginning. So before you try to make her look bad, do a little bit more homework. Removing her just because of your personal bias is not, it's power abuse. And I hope the city council members could make the right decision by reappointing Vivian, who has shown great care to the Lynnwood community. Thank you.
Do we have any more on Zoom?
One more, Marilyn Chase, coming in now.
Marilyn, can you tell us your name and your zip code, please? Marilyn, are you with us?
Start. Now, can you hear me?
I can. Can you give us your name and your zip code,
Thank
please?
you. Okay, my name's Marilyn Chase. I'm 98026, and I'm very pleased to be here tonight. I'll be brief. I'm here to invite you all, the council and the audience, to a community forum. It's an educational forum where to seek to overcome hatred in our community. We have a renowned author named David Newert, who is going to talk to us about white Christian nationalists. It will be in the Everett Civic Auditorium Thursday, October 26th. Please save the date on that. David Newert is an investigative journalist and author. He's based in Seattle and a senior staff writer for Daily Cause. He is the author of numerous books, including The Age of Insurrection, The Radical Right's Assault on Democracy, which was released this last year. He has won numerous awards for his work, including the National Press Club Award for Distinguished Online Journalism. He's going to discuss the anti-government groups that are part of the anti-democratic hard right movement. They believe that government is tyrannical and that they traffic in conspiracy theories about legitimate government. The movement is comprised of sovereign citizens, militias, overt conspiracy propagandists, constitutional sheriffs groups. In the past, the movement was referred to as Patriot Movement and others. The other thing I want to remark on is that David has been working on the right-wing movement in our area back to the mid-'70s. So he is very familiar with all of this. And he observed that after the January 6th assault on the Capitol, the president called for the government to stand down and examine the existence of insider threats to an agency's mission. Insider threat employees in a government agency were found in our government to organize, and they were organizing around a different mission than that of the agency where they worked. It should be an extremely interesting 2 hours for all of us. And the Everett Civic Auditorium is located at 2415 Colby Avenue in Everett, and every single person is most welcome. We look forward to seeing you there. And thank you very much for letting me invite you to this event.
Thank you. That concludes our Zoom attendees. Is there anyone in the room that has not signed up earlier and would like to speak? Yes, sir, in the back.
Hello. My name's Josh Kane, and I'm the Director of Finance for the Lynnwood Public Facilities District. I just wanted to make a comment on some of the accusations on financial information. I've heard a couple times that Vivian has asked for specific financial information and that we've been hiding it or not giving it. And, Vivian did not start on this board very long ago. We do our financial reporting quarterly. Every month we have some financial reports on our accounts payable. But she's really been only at 2 financial meetings, and there was really no questions from her on what I presented on those quarterly reports or any additional information. And as a board member, she doesn't really need a public records request to get information. And so I just wanted to clarify that, the PFD is not trying to hide anything in our finances. There is nothing to hide in our finances. And we conduct business ethically like any other company would. And, I just wanted that to be a consideration because, if Vivian wanted to see something specifically related to our finances, she could have easily emailed me. I could have had a meeting with her and showed her whatever she needed to. And with the public records request, it has been a little slow. As we mentioned, we have kind of a small staff. There's me. I have a staff accountant. We have an admin and Janet. But we've been trying to get those as quick as possible. And, when I pull records like that, I just pull everything. And then I give it to Janet and our legal counsel to review for an actual formal response since the public records request is a legal item. So thank you.
Thank you. Are there others? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, City Council.
Can I get your name and your zip code?
My name is Ming, and my zip code is 98087. So, as a citizen, as a resident of Lynnwood, I'm deeply shocked today by how the current PFD members, as insiders, how they have resorted to slandering Vivian, a newcomer, with hurtful remarks captured in a public video, where Miller bullied her, saying that nobody wants you to be here except the camera, that guy. I'm totally shocked. I have been in US for almost 10 years, and this is the first time I hear such kind of open words from a board member publicly. It shocked me. This word, nobody wants you to be here. It's so hateful. And so this is, I feel, today, I kind of feel this is kind of shocking. This is the first time I see such board members try to be as insider, because they have been there for quite long, to be so slandering a newcomer. Furthermore, I also want to, during hearing the session, I kind of got confused. They are kind of, even the previous speaker, they saying they are not hiding records, but we have the Lynnwood Times reporter here. And during the Janet and the previous person they speak, even I think Lynnwood Times reporter can tell us how long he has been asked for the financial data and why there's, after we can see how long it has been taken, and he hasn't got any records from the PFD. So, even today, Janet, just in front of the Lynnwood Times reporter, she is lying. She is lying that she already gave a Lynnwood Times reporter what he requested. So it seems to me that at this moment, as a resident of Lynnwood, I cannot believe PFD anymore. I cannot believe PFD is using our tax money incorrectly. We, the Lynnwood residents, we will begin, actually from this event, we begin to pay more attention to Lynnwood PFD. And we will not give in. We will keep a close watch on the PFD, and we will continue to demand transparency from PFD. We suspect we can, at this moment, as a resident, I already lost.
Your time has expired.
Okay. We want to full transparency from the KFD, and we want the Miller and the Generate, they resign from.
Your time has expired.
Thank you.
Are there others in the room that would like to speak? All right, at this time we will consider public comments completed, and we will move on to in our agenda